Why does cancer metastasize and how does it happen? Imagine a tiny seed breaking free from its original plant and traveling for a way to grow into a new one. That's similar to how cancer cells spread through the body in a process called metastasis. This is a major reason why cancer can become so serious and difficult to treat. In reproductive cancers like testicular and cervical cancer, metastasis follows the same biological rules, but understanding how it happens helps us find better ways to fight it. Cancer begins when cells in a specific area start to grow uncontrollably. Over time, some of these cells acquire changes in their genes that allow them to do things normal cells can't. One key step in metastasis is called epithelial-to-mesenchymal transition, or EMT. During EMT, cancer cells lose their normal attachment to neighboring cells and the tissue around them. They become more mobile and flexible, like a traveler ready to move on. This change lets them break away from the primary tumor. Next, these cells invade the surrounding tissue. They produce enzymes called matrix metalloproteases that break down the barriers, like the walls of a fortress, allowing them to move into nearby tissues. Once they have invaded, they need to get into the bloodstream or lymphatic vessels, which act like highways for travel. They squeeze through the vessel walls in a process called intravasation, entering the circulation. Once in the blood or lymph, cancer cells face many dangers. Many die because of immune attacks or physical stress, but some survive by hiding from immune cells and resisting death signals. These resilient cells travel through the vessels until they reach distant organs. To form new tumors, they must exit the vessels in a process called extravasation, crossing into new tissues. After arriving in a new location, cancer cells need to adapt to their new environment. They often stimulate the growth of new blood vessels, a process called angiogenesis, to get the nutrients and oxygen they need to grow. If they succeed, they start dividing and forming secondary tumors, which are called metastases. It's important to note that metastasis is an inefficient process. Only a small number of cancer cells that leave the primary tumor actually manage to grow into new tumors. Still, because millions of cells can spread daily, metastasis remains a major challenge in cancer treatment. In reproductive cancers, like testicular and cervical cancer, the pathways of spread often involve nearby lymph nodes or distant organs like the lungs. Understanding these steps helps doctors develop targeted treatments and improve patient outcomes. Overall, metastasis happens because cancer cells undergo genetic and epigenetic changes that allow them to break free from normal tissue constraints. They interact with their environment, evade immune defenses, and stimulate new blood vessel growth. This complex process explains how cancer can spread and why early detection and treatment are so crucial. Always remember, if you or someone you know is dealing with cancer, consulting healthcare professionals is essential for personalized care and the best possible outcomes.